Hi friends, welcome back to the Hangout. Now before we dive into this episode, I want to make sure that you are caught up with the latest season of High School Musical, the series, because there will be spoilers in this episode. Now, if you haven't caught up, go watch it and then come back and hang out. Also, this video is not sponsored, but I wanted to give a special shout out to Disney Plus for helping out and making these episodes possible. Now, let's get into it. Today we're hanging out with the flawless musical theater star who is literally changing the game. He can rock a pink floral blazer and apparently swing across the East High gym, like looking fabulous. You know him as Seb from Disney Plus's High School Musical, the series. We've got Joe Serafini on today's episode. Welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you so much for having me, and thank you for that lovely introduction.
Thank you so much for taking the time. I just wanted to check in. Are you staying hydrated? Are you taking enough breaks?
Yes, I have my water right here. So
amazing.
I'm feeling
amazing. Good. Before we dive into it, I want you to give me your best theater sort of ma.
Okay. Ma.
Spectacular. I love it. So yeah, this episode is going to be airing when the first episode premieres already on the Friday. It will be out on the following Wednesday. So there's going to be spoilers in this episode. So if you haven't seen the first episode already, make sure you go watch it because you might not even know what we're talking about in this episode if you didn't watch it yet. Yeah. But before we dive into all the High School Musical stuff, I want to congratulate you on getting your BFA at the University of Michigan last year. What was it like kind of accomplishing something like that in the most hectic year, which was 2020?
Yes, thank you so much. That's so kind of you. Yeah, it was wild. We were actually filming season 2 at the time, and I had been planning to leave for just a day or two to go back and walk with my class. So I was really disappointed that we didn't get to do that. And I mean that I haven't seen them since I left school in December of 2019.
Oh my God.
So I miss them very much. But we did some Zooms. We've been hanging out on Zoom and playing games like Among Us and stuff like that.
Oh,
so
I love that.
So we stay in touch, and hopefully we'll be able to actually like celebrate the graduation achievement together in person eventually.
Yeah, I feel the exact same. I graduated last year too in the middle of the pandemic, so it was super weird to kind of just, I guess we continue going back to the normal life. Like, what do we do here?
Yeah, and also like already there's like this post-grad life thing where you're like, okay, now what? I don't have the structure of school, and also we're in a pandemic where I can't leave my house. So
yeah, I feel like you were lucky enough to have kind of like a smooth transition though. You were kind of like school and then back into the High School Musical routine.
Yes, I was very fortunate to have the show to go back to. But yeah, I mean, it's, you know, I'm still a young 23-year-old kind of still questioning like, okay, like now what? Still figuring it out. Yeah,
I feel like after school it's probably like the scariest part. You're like, what do I do with my life? So I totally understand what you're feeling. Were you kind of living like a Hannah Montana life during season 1 because you were living the best of both worlds? You were doing High School Musical at the same time, you were going to school. What was that situation sort of like?
Yeah, no, going to school and filming the show at the same time was kind of wild. And I mean, honestly, I would say yes, it was the best of both worlds. But I was so fortunate to have faculty that were so willing to work with me and make sure I was still able to, you know, remain a full-time student, so that I could finish the year out and, you know, get my grades and then graduate still on time with my class, which was important to me. So yeah, I mean, it was whack, but we got it done. I did it.
What was it like for you? Because you do have a very heavy musical theater background, but then like, I guess little to no experience in the TV and film world. What was that like transitioning from the live like audience with the instant gratification and everything to sitting on projects for maybe months and years, sitting on secrets and just like holding it all in?
Yes, I mean, that's a really good question. It's been so interesting. I actually have been saying like that's my best of both worlds, is that I'm getting to do musical theater on camera. So I'm like, you know, doing something that I love so much, but also, you know, in this new medium that I am, you know, not as experienced in, as you said. But yeah, I mean, I was just so excited at the opportunity, and I was like, yeah, this seems right. But yeah, I mean, I talked about it with the chair of my musical theater department. I caught up with him a couple months ago, and I was like, you know, it's just so different. Like, after you do a scene on camera, like, you sort of just walk away, and then that's it. And you don't get like a, you know, of course, everyone's very supportive on our set and compliments each other all the time, but you don't get like a round of applause, or you don't get to like, you know, get that, like you said, that instant gratification of like, okay, I did a good job. So you're kind of left like, gosh, did I do a good job? Like, I hope so, because that's it. And now it's just going to be all edited together and thrown out into the world. So, I mean, half of that battle has just been like trusting myself and, you know, just trusting that they're not gonna let me look bad, hopefully. So yeah, I mean, it is a challenge though, for sure, because I am so used to that right away, sharing that experience with the audience.
I just want to say you're doing a fabulous job though. We love Seb. Seb is too wholesome for this planet. Like, he has everyone's heart. Like, specifically from like episode 1 with the cows and the rash of the cashmere. I was like, Seb does not deserve this.
Thank you.
Is that a rash on your wrist? Nope. I'm allergic to cashmere.
I want to talk about, I guess, getting the audition for High School Musical, the musical series. Social media was the reason why your life kind of changed. Can you talk a bit about that?
Yeah. So, I mean, without trying to ramble on too long, basically I was sitting in class, you know, being a student, and I was scrolling through my Instagram direct message requests, and there was a message from a casting associate that cast the show. And he was saying, hey, Joe, Tim Federle is doing this show and wanted us to find you and reach out to you about auditioning, because I had met Tim Federle when I was actually in high school.
Wow.
I wasn't that close with him, I would say, but he, I guess, like, believed in me whenever he saw me perform in this like opening number of this awards show. It was like very random, but he believed in me, and sort of kept in touch with me over social media and like kept cheering me on from afar. And then I was just fortunate enough that he thought of me for this project, and I auditioned for EJ originally, and then few months passed, kind of forgot about it, and then they asked me to audition for Seb, and literally in less than a week I booked it and was like on my way to Salt Lake City to film.
That's crazy. That's crazy. I feel like that's just a reminder also, like, you never know who's watching your work.
It's
like,
so true.
You just got to put out,
like, when I met him, you know, I could have made like a weird impression or something, but I think, you know, he must have seen something that he was like, oh, like, I want to work with him.
Right? Oh man, that's so exciting. I guess, what was your first impression walking into an iconic building like the East High School?
Oh my gosh, I was losing my mind. I mean, like, I remember I was in a van being like driven to set, and I remember pulling right up to East High, and I was just like, that's it. Like, that's the building that I grew up watching on my television screen. Like, that's crazy.
Like, it's definitely on my bucket list to go to Utah just to visit that building.
Oh yeah, you totally should. Maybe when we're filming.
I mean, like, I'll be like, hey Joe, can you let me on set, please?
Sure.
So diving into episode 1, what was it like getting to revisit? Congratulations on your character too, because he was only supposed to be a recurring character in season 1, and now you are a series regular. We want to see more Seb. We love seeing more Seb. Like, this is what we need. What was it like getting to dive back into this character?
It was so much fun. I was just so excited to step back into his shoes, literally, and just see what else was in store. I feel like, you know, like you said, we were just getting to know him in season 1, and I feel like there was so much more room for like, what else is going on with this cast, because there's so many people. And I feel like everyone is so talented and has so much to offer that like I was just so excited to see what else was going to happen.
I love that this season we are seeing a lot more stories from the different characters and we're diving into each person individually. What was it like? Okay, in the first episode, it's New Year's Eve. You guys are at Ashlyn's house having a party, doing the big High School Musical 2 montage. What was it like filming such like fun big group scenes like that?
Oh my gosh, it was so much fun. Any day that we're all together on set is a great day. I mean, like, you know, so many of the days, if it's just like a 2-person scene or maybe like a 3 or 4-person scene, it's another day. But like when we're all together and like doing a musical number, those are like the rare days that we all like look forward to, I think, the most. And we're just all so silly and probably always getting yelled at for just being foolish and being like loud.
I feel like that's expected with musical theater kids though. So
that's a thing, you know. It's like I think they know, and I think they try not to shut us up too much because they like seeing that energy like translate into the scene. But you know, at a certain point, some work got to get done.
I want to talk about you also like kind of reprising the role of Sharpay in that moment. You got to sing Fabulous. You sang it fabulously too. Pun not intended, but what was it like getting to sing that song?
Oh my gosh. I mean, I was just so excited to sing another Sharpay song. And of course, like the most iconic one. And to share that moment with Frankie was really sweet. Because he comes in on like the second half of it.
Yeah.
And he's just like dancing with the girls. It's just so fun. I think that number is directed so well by Kimberly McCullough. I feel like you just get to see everyone just literally being theater kids in that moment.
I love those moments so much. I want to talk about you and Frankie and the whole like Carlos and Seb. I love that we get to see their relationship blossom throughout this whole season. We only see the first episode right now, but coming up in the future, what can we expect? What's going to happen with them?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, you know, we were just getting to know everyone in season 1, and we got to see Seb and Carlos sort of find each other there. But now we get to see them actually being in a relationship and like navigating what that is for them. Because I mean, at least in my high school experience was when I first started like understanding relationships and how to handle that. And it just comes with a lot of like ups and downs and like figuring out how to show someone that you care about them and how you care about them. And you know, I think they're just navigating that ground and figuring all that out, while also figuring out a lot about themselves. And yeah,
I feel like they're so mature for their age. Like in high school, I feel like my emotions would have just been left and right and all over the place. But like,
I mean, that was me. That was me too.
Okay, glad we're on the same page. Nobody's like all like actually like they know what's going on and they're actually contained with their feelings. But does Seb ever leave you? Because I guess you and Frankie, you guys are you guys have been like quarantined together. Like, do you bring it home? Like, are you guys always like a part of you is there?
I mean, I think there's definitely like Seb is definitely a part of me. I mean, it is literally like me doing it. So I that's me, right? But but no, I really do. When I'm not filming the show, I like miss him. I remember there was something on a menu that had like it was called Seb's something, and I was like, oh, I miss Seb. Just like,
that's so cute.
Like, I mean, like when you're not doing that dialogue and like you're not in those costumes and your hair is that certain way and the makeup, totally. You know, it's like I feel like there's a moment where you like become Seb, and I don't think I do take it home. And actually watching the show, it's funny, like I always am like, oh, it's interesting seeing Seb and Carlos because it's not Joe and Frankie.
Yeah.
But like it is Joe and Frankie, but it's Seb and Carlos.
That means you guys are doing your job then. If you don't even recognize yourself when you're watching it on screen.
I mean, it's interesting too, because like you're living it in the moment and then you get to see it from the camera's perspective. And that's interesting. That's kind of weird.
What was it like the first time you met Frankie? What did you guys have like instant connection? What was your first impression?
First, I was honestly scared of Frankie because he's kind of shy at first, and then like he's kind of quippy and like will like say some zingers and make everybody laugh. And I was just like, oh, like he has it together and like is funny and quick. And I just wanted to be on his good side. And I wanted him to like me. And, I knew we were going to be working closer together. I knew that they were going to end up sort of going to the dance together at least. So I just wanted to, make my best effort to get along with him. And yeah, I mean, pretty quickly I was like, oh, I love this guy.
Aw, I love that. It's shown on screen, your guys' chemistry and your relationship, and just it's just so nice to like see your guys, also just your cast members in general, all you guys just get along so well, and you guys are just like a big family.
Oh, it really is, for sure.
I want to talk about the dance. That dance scene in season 1 was so iconic. Like that moment when you walk in to the gym, it's just like the room is silent. It's like your guys' moment. What was it like filming that?
That was a really special day. I would say that's one of like my most memorable days from season 1. It was, I mean, first of all, like the place was just so decked out. Everyone looked amazing, and like the dance number was so fantastic and phenomenal. And then also just that moment, like I think we just knew that was a special moment, not only for Seb and Carlos, but for Disney and their history of like, they've never had a gay couple really on a television show before. I mean, and just seeing just being able to like dance together is such a sweet sentiment. And like that's all anybody really wants is, love. And to, I mean, I guess they're not like in love at that point, but you know what I mean? Like it's just a simple gesture of like, sharing a connection with someone. And I think it's such a beautiful moment. And I'm so honored that we were able to do that.
I want to congratulate you guys on the GLAAD Award as well, and just winning that, and just also accepting the award too. How did that make you guys feel to be showcased like that?
Yeah, we were just honored. I mean, for the whole show, it's an award for the whole show. And I'm just so proud to be a part of a show that is getting that recognition and doing that work. I think there needs to be more of it. I mean, always.
Totally.
All the representation is so great, even beyond just gay storylines, but also like, trans and non-binary people. Like, let's see more of those.
Oh yes, that would like. I think it was even like just a wonderful step just to see Seb step into Sharpay's character.
I know,
and just have that, right?
I mean, like that was like so out of this world, and I think I would have like never even thought of that in high school. So for us to just be like changing like the way we can view casting at all is so cool. I love it.
Yeah, I want to talk about your flying around the gym in the big performance in season 1. What? How many takes did you do that? Like, how do you do that so effortlessly?
We did so many takes of that number, and my pants were ripping more and more each take. But like the second half of the day, I'm pretty sure I got a brand new pair of pants.
Oh my god!
But it was a very fun. Oh, also it was so hot. It was like
I'm sure with the lights and everything.
Yes, and the lights, and my pants were like very pleather pants.
They were like sparkly, like silver.
Yes,
very.
So they did not breathe at all. So like it was just like sweat under those. So in between every take, I was just like taking off my pants and like airing out my legs,
I love that.
like fanning and all the things. But no, that day was so amazing. That's another most memorable experience. Like that was crazy.
Yeah.
But and about the swinging around, I just trusted Rico with my whole life. I mean, I literally was just like, here we go.
If you let go, if you let go.
Yeah. So I trusted him, and I mean, he literally never dropped me. I think once I like bounced on the ground, but he like got me. He's amazing now. He's so strong, and such an amazing dancer.
I guess in the next episode, episode 2, I think there's casting. Are the fans going to be excited of who gets casted for each Beauty and the Beast character?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think it's hard to be disappointed whenever you're thinking about the cast. Like, everyone is so great that, like, you can't really go wrong.
You don't know who's casted. Who would you cast as each person?
If I didn't know?
If you didn't know. I don't know if you can
hard
rewire your brain.
I know, and then am I supposed to say who doesn't get cast? Because some of them I agree with.
Okay, maybe we won't. Maybe we'll keep it. We'll keep it safe. We'll keep it safe. We'll keep it safe. I want to talk. You posted on your Instagram. You had a little Seb Pop Character, and we love our pop characters here.
Oh my gosh!
What was it? What was it like getting to see something like that?
Oh my gosh, that was first of all, that was a custom pop that Frankie had made for me for a Christmas gift.
Aww.
So I think it's like I don't want to say the wrong app, but I think it's like at 805 Custom Pop Shop. But I tagged them in my post if anyone wants a custom pop shop. But yeah, I mean, when he gave it to me, I was like, oh my gosh, this is it's so amazing and so adorable. And like the attention to detail is there, like iconic.
Like even like the little eyeshadow.
Yes.
Like, yes, we'd love to see it. For our show, The Hangout, we always want to talk about the impact of music. How do you think music has kind of impacted or changed your life over the years?
Oh my gosh. So much of my life I listen to show tunes, and I feel like I just recently, in the past few years, like in college, I want to say, was when I started like listening to music intentionally. And I love it so much. It's like one of my favorite things to do now. It's just like putting on one of my favorite artists and listening. It's like so healing to me, especially, I mean, not only listening to music, but also like singing music is so healing to me. Yeah, music is just like magic to me. I don't know. It's amazing.
How do you think it's kind of changed for you being in musical theater and being in a musical TV show as well?
Yeah, I mean, for sure. Every time like Olivia is hanging out on set, one of the first questions she always asks you is, what kind of music are you listening to? And I feel like I always have to like have an answer.
What kind of music are you listening to, Joe?
Currently it's Olivia Rodrigo now.
Yes, yes. Everyone is pop off.
But no, I love Ariana Grande, of course. I feel like I'm really late to this party, but Taylor Swift with her like re-recorded album, I was listening to that. I was like, I mean, I remember hearing all those songs on the radio growing up, but like she really is an amazing songwriter, like of our generation. Like she's totally kind of the queen, I would say.
Yep. Joe's a Swiftie. We just marked it.
I have to say I am.
I feel like with that album specifically, we all grew up around the same time where that album was like establishing our upbringings and childhood too. So hearing it all back, we're all like, oh my god, this memory, that memory.
Yeah. Like I was just like, oh, well, this didn't even like mean anything to me whenever it first came out, but like now listening back, it's so nostalgic in some way. I don't even understand.
I don't even think I was 15 when 15 came out. I was probably like 7.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna play a quick rapid fire scenario question game. Are you ready?
I think so.
Okay, so you were the director of Coachella. Who were the 3 artists headlining the show?
Beyonce, Ariana Grande, and I'll just say Taylor Swift.
Amazing. You went into a coma after attending that crazy festival. One song. What's the one song that'll wake you up?
No Tears Left to Cry.
Ooh, yes. I love it. After being out for so long, it's now Valentine's Day. What is your romantic gesture that you were doing for your loved one?
A box of chocolates.
Oh, nice. COVID is now over. Broadway is open again. You can only watch one musical or theater production. Which one is it going to be?
I think Wicked.
That has been a common one.
I mean, I love so many musicals, but Wicked has a special place in my heart. It's like it's the first Broadway show I ever saw. So I really want to go back to that.
What's it like working with Kate too? Because she was also in Wicked.
It's amazing. I'm obsessed with her, and I would like kill to go and see her do Glinda. And actually on one of our last days of filming, I don't know if anyone's told you the story yet, but often if there's a piano around, someone will end up playing it, and we'll all end up singing random songs or whatever. And I was playing piano, and Kate was around, and we were like, "Would you sing Wicked? Something from Wicked?" And then she was like, "Yeah, sure." Like, so nonchalant. And then I started doing For Good. And then when we got to the alphabet lines, no one was really stepping up. So I sang it with her, and we sang this beautiful like duet of For Good. And I was like, this is amazing. I'm singing with a Broadway Glinda, just
That's
like chilling.
Amazing. I love that. Okay, you're traveling to LA, you're going to Disneyland. Who are you Disney bounding as?
What is Disney bounding? Is that like dressing up as a character?
Yes.
I'll say Peter Pan.
Oh, I love it. You guys wrapped on a Friday night. Who's planning? What are you guys doing as a cast? Where are you going?
Let's go to my place in our apartment and have a game night.
I love it. I feel like you guys as a cast just love your game nights.
We do. It's just the easiest way to like all be together and like do something together.
What are you guys like creating? Did you get any inspiration from Carlos's creation of the High School Musical trivia game? Are you guys doing like your own version of that?
I mean, we should. We haven't, but we should.
Okay, just to wrap up this episode, season 2. What do you want fans to take away from the season? What do you want them to take away from Seb?
I think, I mean, as cliche as it's gonna sound, I always just be yourself and believe in yourself and know that you are valid in whatever you are doing. I think in high school it's so easy to get wrapped up in everything and all the drama and the high stakes of it all, but at the end of the day, like you are the only person that can be you, and like that's so great, and the world needs you and all of that.
Wow, I love that. Not only is Seb wholesome, but Joe Serafini, ladies and gentlemen, you heard that, he is wholesome as well. Thank you so much for hanging out. That was Joe Serafini on this week's episode of The Hangout. Thanks for hanging out. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Leave us a comment and review on our YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you're tuning in from. Make sure to like and subscribe as well so you know when new episodes come out. I would also really appreciate it. You can follow us along on all of our socials at The Hangout CA. That's it for now. We'll see you next week.